All right, you beautiful bastards, buckle up, because today we're diving headfirst into the world of luxury cars.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about those overpriced, chrome-plated chariots that make most of us seethe with envy and judgmental glares.
Mm.
And to help us navigate this twisted world of horsepower and bullshit, we've got an expert who knows more about these rides than a Saudi prince at a gold-plated dealership.
Let's cut the crap.
I like it.
We're here to dissect the fascinating and often fucked up world of luxury cars.
Okay.
We'll tear apart everything from their ridiculous history to those outrageous features
Why?
and the whole goddamn mystique surrounding their so-called prestige.
You heard the expert. We're going deep, so grab a drink,
Yeah.
light up a joint if that's your thing, and get ready to have your perceptions challenged.
Let's do it.
First things first, what the hell even is a luxury car? Is it just a fancy label slapped onto a ride with a bigger price tag, or is there more to it?
Right.
Because let's be honest, sometimes it feels like my neighbor thinks his pimped-out Honda Civic with the spinning rims is luxury.
Yeah. That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And honestly, the answer is slippery as a greased weasel.
Okay.
Because, yeah, luxury is subjective as hell. Your neighbor can think his Civic is the shit,
Sure.
and power to him. But when we talk about luxury cars in this deep dive,
Yeah.
we're talking about something more. We're talking about rides where the base price could buy you a decent house in some parts of the country.
Okay, so we're not talking about fuzzy dice and a spoiler here.
Yeah.
What are we talking about then? What actually separates a true luxury car from your average everyday ride?
Well, it's a cocktail of objective qualities and that elusive status factor.
Uh-huh.
Think high-quality materials, like handcrafted leather interiors that smell like a goddamn CEO's office.
Oh, yeah.
Think superior build-quality engines that purr like a goddamn panther and technology that makes your average spaceship look like a goddamn abacus.
So it's about more than just having a car that gets you from point A to point B.
Fuck no. It's about the experience, the feeling,
Right.
the image it projects. It's about telling the world, hey, look at me. I can afford this shit, and you can't.
All right, I'm starting to get it. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Doesn't the whole idea of what's considered luxury change depending on where you are in the world? I mean, is my luxury ride in America considered a piece of crap in Europe, or vice versa?
You're hitting on a crucial point. Different countries have different standards and classifications for what they consider a luxury car.
Okay.
Like, Europe has this F-segment classification for their top-tier luxury sedans.
Right.
Think Mercedes S-Class, BMW 7 Series, those big dick rides you see diplomats rolling around in.
So basically what makes a car luxury is as clear as mud.
Pretty much.
It's a constantly shifting target based on perception geography and probably a whole bunch of other bullshit factors.
Yeah.
But let's not get bogged down to the semantics of luxury just yet.
Sure.
Let's take a trip down memory lane and see how this whole opulent car thing even got started.
Yeah, this shit didn't start with Tesla, you know. We're talking way back, the early days of automobiles when those first rich assholes were already throwing their money at fancy rides just to flex on everyone else.
No surprise there. Rich people being dicks with their money is a tale as old as time.
It's a classic.
So who were these early pioneers of automotive extravagance? What kind of rides were they rocking back then?
Think pre-WWII European brands like Rolls-Royce, Bugatti, and Mercedes-Benz.
Sick.
These were the OGs of luxury, hand-built, powerful, and dripping with more extravagance than a goddamn Roman emperor's chariot.
Wow.
They were basically rolling status symbols for the elite, a way to show off their wealth and taste or lack thereof.
So basically nothing's changed, except maybe the brands. Did America just sit back and let Europe hog all the early luxury car glory?
Hell no. America jumped into the game with its own set of icons, Cadillac and Lincoln.
Oh, yeah.
These brands became synonymous with American luxury and power, especially in the post-WWII era.
Okay.
They were all about big, bold designs, powerful engines, and that sense of American exceptionalism that was so pervasive at the time.
I can picture it now. Tail fins longer than a goddamn football field.
Oh, yeah.
Chrome grills that could blind a goddamn eagle.
For sure.
And enough horsepower to launch you to the goddamn moon.
Absolutely.
But what about today? Where do those American brands fit into the modern landscape of luxury?
Yeah.
Did they manage to keep up with the times?
Well, they certainly had their ups and downs. But things got really interesting in the 80s when Japanese luxury brands like Lexus, Acura, and Infiniti entered the scene. They came in with this laser focus on reliability technology and a more understated kind of luxury.
Interesting.
Which really pissed off those established European brands who thought they had the market cornered.
So it was like a goddamn automotive showdown
He was.
Japan versus Europe for luxury car dominance.
Yeah.
Did anyone actually win?
It was a battle for sure, and you could argue that everyone won in the end.
Okay.
The Japanese brands pushed the Europeans to innovate and improve, and they introduced a new generation of buyers to the world of luxury cars. It's like when McDonald's came along and made those fancy burger joints step up their game.
I like that analogy.
Competition breeds innovation, right?
Right. But let's be honest, when the shit hit the fan during the 2007-2008 financial crisis,
Yeah.
you'd think luxury car sales would have tanked harder than a goddamn stockbroker jumping out of a window.
Funny you mention that. It seems like no matter how bad the economy gets, rich people always find a way to buy their fancy toys. Maybe it's a coping mechanism.
Right.
Maybe it's just a way to show everyone they're immune to the struggles of us mere mortals.
Yeah.
But the fact is, luxury car sales didn't really take a major hit during the recession.
I guess some things never change.
Right.
But we've talked about the history, the elusive definition of luxury, and the brands that have shaped the industry. What about the cars themselves?
Right.
What actually sets these rides apart from the Camrys and Corollas of the world?
Yeah.
Besides the price tag and the snooty attitude.
That's where we get into the nuts and bolts of what makes these machines so goddamn special. And trust me, it's more than just a fancy badge on the hood. All right, let's pop the hood and get a little technical for a minute. One of the key things that separates luxury cars from your average grocery getter is the emphasis on performance.
Hold up, by performance you mean like how fast they can go from 0 to, look at me, I'm a douchebag.
Well, that's certainly part of the appeal for some folks. But I'm talking about the raw power under the hood, the precision engineering that goes into making these machines handle like a dream.
Okay.
Think powerful engines, often V8s or even V12s, those beasts with more cylinders than a goddamn octopus has tentacles.
Okay, for those of us who don't speak fluent car guy, break that down. What the hell is a V8 or a V12, and why does it matter?
It's all about how the engine is configured. A V8 has 8 cylinders arranged in a V shape.
Okay.
And a V12 has, you guessed it, 12. More cylinders generally mean more power, smoother operation, and let's face it, more badass sound.
So it's about having an engine that roars like a goddamn lion, not whines like a goddamn mosquito.
Exactly. Luxury cars are all about that visceral experience, that feeling of power at your fingertips.
I feel it.
But it's not just about raw horsepower. It's about how that power is delivered, how the car handles, how it makes you feel when you're behind the wheel.
Okay, I'm starting to get it. It's like the difference between chugging a cheap beer and savoring a fine scotch. But what about all those fancy bells and whistles?
Right.
Are those just for show? Or is there some actual function behind all that glitz and glam?
Those bells and whistles, as you call them, are often where luxury brands debut their latest technological innovations.
Oh, really?
Features like advanced safety systems, cutting-edge infotainment setups, and all sorts of gadgets that eventually trickle down to more affordable cars.
Right.
But luxury cars are where they're born.
So it's like being a beta tester for fancy car features, except you're paying a shitload of money for the privilege.
Pretty much. But for some buyers, that early access to the latest and greatest tech is part of the appeal. They want to be the first on the block with that new self-parking system. Or that head-up display that makes them feel like they're piloting a goddamn fighter jet.
I can see the appeal, even if I'd rather spend that money on a lifetime supply of tacos. But let's be real. A lot of the appeal of luxury cars is just straight up showing off.
Yeah.
Right? It's about that conspicuous consumption thing. Flashing your wealth and making everyone else feel like a goddamn peasant.
You're not wrong. There's definitely a strong element of that. Some people buy these cars purely as status symbols. They want the biggest, the flashiest, the most expensive ride on the block just to stroke their goddamn egos.
It's like those assholes who wear designer clothes with the labels still attached.
Yeah.
They're not even trying to be subtle about it.
Exactly. But on the other hand, there are people who genuinely appreciate the craftsmanship, the engineering, the artistry that goes into these vehicles.
Right.
They're willing to pay a premium for a driving experience that's simply not available in a more mainstream car.
So it's like those wine snobs who swirl their glass and sniff the cork for 10 minutes before taking a sip. They're not just being pretentious. They actually taste something different than the rest of us plebes.
I think that's a fair comparison.
Okay.
They're looking for a level of refinement, nuance, and attention to detail that's lost on the average person. And to be fair, some of these luxury cars are truly exceptional machines. They handle like a dream, accelerate like a rocket, and offer a level of comfort and luxury that's hard to beat.
All right, I'll give you that. But what about this whole trend of luxury SUVs? It seems like every goddamn luxury brand is pumping out these behemoths that are basically tanks on wheels.
Hmm.
Is that really about luxury? Or is it just about being able to look down on everyone else in traffic?
It's probably a bit of both, honestly. SUVs have become incredibly popular in recent years.
Yeah.
And luxury brands are just following money. They've realized that people are willing to pay a premium for an SUV.
Right.
That offers the same level of luxury and status as a traditional sedan, but with added practicality and that king of the road feeling.
And let's be real, those massive SUVs are perfect for hauling around all that designer luggage and purebred poodles.
Yeah.
But what's fascinating is how even luxury brands like Lincoln,
Yeah.
which used to be all about those classic elegant sedans, have gone all in on SUVs and crossovers.
It's a risky move, but it seems to be paying off. The market for luxury SUVs is booming, and there's no sign of it slowing down.
Interesting.
But it does raise questions about what will happen to the traditional luxury sedan. Will it become a niche product for a select few,
Right.
or will it eventually disappear altogether?
Damn, that's a good question. It's like the car version of will robots take over the world? But let's not get too existential here. Let's talk about the real high rollers, the one percenters who are dropping millions on cars like the Rolls-Royce Phantom and Bentley Mulsanne.
Oh, okay.
Who are these people, and what the hell are they thinking?
Well, for some of them, it's simply about having the best of the best. They want a car that's handmade bespoke and completely unique. They're not just buying a car, they're buying a piece of art,
Right.
a statement piece that reflects their success. And let's face it, their ability to throw money around like it's goddamn confetti.
It's like those art collectors who buy a blank canvas for millions of dollars. They're not buying a painting. They're buying a concept, a story. But let's be real. Most of us would be terrified to even sit in one of those cars, let alone drive it. And speaking of weird luxury rides, what's up with those super fancy MPVs that are popular in Asia? You know, the ones that are basically like mini mansions on wheels.
Ah, yes, the luxury MPVs. They're a fascinating phenomenon. In some Asian countries, status is associated with being chauffeured.
Interesting.
So these MPVs are designed to provide the ultimate in rear seat comfort and luxury. They have reclining seats, entertainment systems, refrigerators, basically everything you need to live your best life while stuck in traffic.
It's like a first-class airplane cabin on wheels. I guess when you're trapped in gridlock, you might as well be comfortable. So we spent this deep dive cruising through the world of luxury cars. We have from their bullshit origins to their over-the-top features.
Yeah.
But here's the question that's been burning a hole in my leather-clad seat.
Hit me.
What the hell does the future hold for these rides?
That's a good one.
Are we all going to be chauffeured around in self-driving pods,
Right.
sipping champagne,
Yeah.
while ignoring the crumbling world outside?
It's a distinct possibility, but I think the desire for something special, something that sets you apart from the masses, will always be there. Whether it's about performance design, exclusivity, or just that feeling of being a goddamn baller, people will always crave luxury in some form.
So, like, even if we're all zipping around in flying cars, there's going to be that one asshole who has to have the gold-plated, diamond-encrusted flying car with a built-in jacuzzi.
Probably human nature is what it is, but I think we'll also see a shift towards more sustainable luxury.
Oh, really?
People are becoming more aware of the environmental impact of their choices, and that extends to their cars as well.
So instead of bragging about horsepower in 0 to 60 times, we'll be comparing carbon footprints and ethical sourcing of materials.
Could be.
Will luxury car brands be judged by how many trees they planted to offset their emissions?
It's certainly a possibility. We're already seeing brands like Tesla and Lucid Motors pushing the boundaries of electric performance and luxury, proving that you can have your cake and eat it too, so to speak. And other companies are exploring sustainable materials and manufacturing processes, trying to reduce their impact on the planet without sacrificing that luxury feel.
So maybe the future of luxury cars isn't about being the biggest or the fastest, but about being the smartest and most responsible.
Exactly.
Kind of a bummer, but I guess it's better than destroying the planet in style.
I wouldn't call it a bummer. I think it's exciting to see how luxury cars are evolving to meet the challenges of the 21st century. It's a sign that the industry is listening to its customers and taking sustainability seriously.
Fair enough. And who knows, maybe those sustainable luxury cars will be so goddamn cool that we'll all forget about our gas-guzzling past. Or maybe we'll be too busy fighting over the last parking spot on the moon to care.
Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, the world of luxury cars is never boring.
Damn straight. So there you have it, folks, the world of luxury cars. A complex and ever-changing landscape of status symbols, technological marvels, and some seriously questionable financial decisions.
For sure.
Whether you love them, hate them, or just love to hate them, you can't deny these machines are fascinating.
And as technology and consumer preferences continue to evolve, it'll be interesting to see what the future holds for the very concept of automotive luxury.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, you beautiful bastards. I'm going to go polish my '98 Corolla and pretend it's a Bentley. Catch you next time.